can we talk about last year? Last year, this race gave us Nico Hulkenberg's first podium. I cried. I cried when that happened because Nico Hulkenberg had raced 239 races and had never had a podium. And one of the things that I absolutely love about this race is that the weather of this race is like the main character. You don't know what you're going to get, especially if you know it's not going to be a sunny day. It could be an overcast day, and that just means it is anyone's guess what the weather is going to be. Will it be rain? Will it be misty? Will it be dry, damp? You can get three different types of weather in a day if it's not going to be a straight up sunny day. And so the day of the race, of course, in 2025 last year, it started off as a damp race. And a lot of the drivers started off in intermediates, and by the time that the race started, a lot of the teams started switching out into slicks, because they saw that the track was drying up. But Hulkenberg was like not buying it. He was kind of adamant that he saw rain in the radar and he did not want to go in for the slicks. So he ended up staying, I believe, in the intermediates, and that was just like the reason and part of like that driver instinct, right, of kind of defying the team orders or not going with the status quo, because a lot of the teams, once they started pitting, they all went into the slicks because they thought that the track was starting to look dry. Hulkenberg ended up pitting, I think it was like in lap 9 or something like that. It was like pretty early on in the race. But instead of going onto the slicks, he swapped onto a fresh set of intermediates. And then the rain started. And of course, everybody else on the slicks, like you can only imagine, it was like a slippery sliding event. Or, you're playing it safe because you're on slicks, so you're not going to be able to accelerate as much as possible. And so here is Hulkenberg, started in 19th place. By the time that I think it was like even by like lap 9 or something like that, he was already up by like 6 positions or something like that. It was like completely insane how quickly this race unraveled for some people, and how quickly he was just like moving up the racetrack, which was just so thrilling. It was so thrilling to see. Anyway, by lap 13, okay, this is how crazy wet and like chaotic the race was. By lap 13th, mind you, he pitted in lap 9. By lap 13th, he was already at P5. And so the rest of the race was really just like him maintaining position and trying to take advantage of other people's poor strategy, not be undercut. And this happened, mind you, that I think Silverstone is 52 laps. So he's just battling it out. He's at P5 as early on as lap 13. But he still has some of the best drivers up ahead of him. The McLarens had a really strong season, as you know, like Lando Norris won the championship. So both McLarens were up. Lewis was up, and this is his home race. This is like his race. We'll get into Lewis. And then there was like Verstappen, and Lance Stroll was surprisingly still in the mix because for once, like, Aston Martin did something right and Lance was still, in the race. So this is going on lap after lap. The next pit stop for Hulkenberg was in lap 42. So then he switched into mediums, and he pitted right after Hamilton, and Hamilton just kind of struggled when he left the pit stop, and he ended up not being able to hold his position. So at this point, Lewis was in P4. And he just like wasn't able to claw himself back to finish the race in P4. And Nico Hulkenberg took that position.